Chapter 886, Crying Miniman. Northern Plains, in a certain secluded area, Luo Pa Valley. Souls were wailing, thunder roared, and lightning struck down. The light of fire shined everywhere, and explosions rang out continuously that a huge, intense battle was ongoing. The defending side was Shadow Sect, whose members had resolutely abandoned Lang Ye blessed land and came back. Qin Bai Sheng, Fairy Jiangyu, Hui Feng Zi, He Lang Zi, and others. Immortal Killer Move, Soul Suppression. Qin Bai Sheng grunted, stepping forward in the endless light and fire. Bam, bam, bam. 3 intense explosions sounded out. Qin Bai Sheng had forced back 3 invading Gu immortals with an overwhelming momentum, giving a feeling of an impenetrable fortress. The Grand Qin Jin Qi, actually lost 3 times in a row against a single Gu immortal, and in one move each time. The Gu immortal from Myriad Dragon Dock, Qin Jin Qi, stabilized himself with difficulty and looked at Qin Bai Sheng with shock and fury. Damn it, it was not easy to organize a wave of offense, and it was actually broken by him so easily. Bu Fei Yin gritted her teeth as blood seeped out of her lips. This soul path killer move is really too strong. Who could have expected Qin Bai Sheng's true strength to be so strong? Old Oracle's deduction was really correct. This guy is very likely to be the culprit of 88 True Yang buildings' destruction. Old Man Tianlong thought. The group that was attacking Luo Po Valley was none other than the group of Gu immortals from Central Continent's 10 great ancient sections, when their objectives could not be achieved in snowy mountain-blessed land. Feng Jiuge was not discouraged and directed them appropriately, finding many secrets and clues. After going through Old Oracle's deduction, the group of immortals found the location of Luo Po Valley and hurried over. However, Luo Po Valley had already been in Shadow Sect's possession for a long time and had a powerful defensive Gu formation. While Central Continent's Gu immortals were being delayed by this, Qin Bai Sheng and the others had retreated from Lang Ye blessed land, coming to reinforce immediately. Thus, the current situation was formed. Both sides were in a deadlock. Central Continent's group wanted to invade Luo Pa Valley, while Shadow Sect's group was defending their base tightly. Transformation Path Killer Move. Fragrant Sorcerer in Statue Wolf Transformation. Wind Path Killer Move. Death Wind Flying Blade. He Lang Zi and Hui Feng Zi saw the Central Continent Gu immortals suffering setbacks, immediately grasping the opportunity to counterattack incisively. Fairy Ling Mei and Fairy Ao Shui from Heaven's Envy Manor were no match against the intense attacks, and could only retreat without any power to fight back. Immortal Killer Move, Green Jade Song. At the crucial moment, Feng Jiuge took action, using an extraordinary sound path killer move that He Lang Zi and Hui Feng Zi suffered intense damage and fell back. Hui Feng Zi retreated back to the defensive Gu formation, spitting out over 10 mouthfuls of blood in succession. This blood had changed into a deep green jade-colored. He Lang Zi's injuries were even more severe. The fragrant sorcerine statue wolf he had transformed into had mostly changed into jade stones. He was extremely shocked. What immortal killer move is this? It seems to restrain transformation path. I am actually not able to change back to human form. It looks like I have to resolve this injury before I can transform again. Feng Jiuge. Qin Bai Sheng shouted furiously, his voice spreading over the whole battlefield. Qin Bai Sheng, I underestimated you. Previously I was actually deceived by you. I am far beneath you in terms of acting skills. Fortunately, my side has a wisdom path Gu immortal, and without stinting on the expenditure of lifespan, he was able to successfully deduce the location of this Luo Pa Valley. Feng Jiuge was still dressed in a red and white robe. His posture was straight, like a spear or sword. Right now, he was speaking with a slight smile. His tone was articulate and extremely graceful. Successful deduction, my ass. I have no relation with the destruction of 88 True Yang building. But since you came, your life will end here. Qin Bai Sheng slowly closed his eyes and lowered his head. He placed his hands together in front of his chest. Then he grabbed his left palm with his right hand and formed a fist, which he raised high above his head. When they saw this stance, the expressions of the Central Continent Gu immortals started changing to that of shock and bewilderment, and they started retreating. Only Feng Jiuge stood on the spot, like he was nailed between heaven and earth, and would not move even if a storm battered him that he looked at Qin Baisheng's stance with bright eyes. This move, could it be Sword Immortal Bo Qing's five-finger fist heart sword? Correct, Qin Baisheng replied. Are you prepared to die? Feng Jiuge laughed heartily. His expression was one of excitement. Good, good, wonderful. Sword Immortal Bo Qing is my senior in Spirit Affinity House. He failed in his tribulation, and his killer move inheritance also mysteriously disappeared. Spirit Affinity House did not obtain it, but it instead landed in a Northern Plains Gu Immortal's hands. But I have read relevant records in the sect. This five-finger fist heart sword is extremely powerful and sharp. It is rumored that back then, Lord Sword Immortal Bo Qing felt the majesty of heaven and earth and the difficulty of ascension. Thus he created this move to show his courage and pride of resisting heaven and earth by himself. So this move's stance is quite peculiar. The person who uses it must confront heaven and earth, lowering their head and closing their eyes. It seems like an admission of defeat, but they are in truth using all their physical and mental strength to produce and unleash the sharpest attack. The fist above their head shows how incomparably bold Sword Immortal Bo Qing was. As the saying goes, I decide my own fate, not heaven. With a sword at my heart, I advance in sword path. Feng Jiuge was not the least bit nervous in facing the legendary killer move. Instead, he was speaking with confidence. The central continent Gu immortals behind him were influenced by this, and the fear in their minds gradually dissipated. This made them have even more admiration of Feng Jiuge's temperament. Humph, you know quite a lot. It seems you have a premonition of your defeat and death. Qin Baisheng sneered. Feng Jiuge shook his head and smiled brightly. By fortunate coincidence, I have created a sound path killer move, inspired during a certain time period. During my cultivation journey, I've discovered heaven and earth, faced heaven and earth, and revered heaven and earth. I felt the vastness of nature, felt how minute and weak I was. I named this song Heaven and Earth Song. Heaven and earth is so vast, while humans are so insignificant. This song borrows the strength of heaven and earth, using an incomparable might to suppress all resistance. On one side was the vast might of heaven and earth, in accordance with the course of nature and with boundless force, while the other side was about defying heaven's will by oneself, with the will of sword path, pressing forward indomitably. These two moves were complete opposites of each other. In the end, would it be heaven and earth song or five-finger fist heart sword that emerges victorious? The tempo of the whole battlefield slowed down for a moment. Everyone's gazes were on Feng Jiuge and Qin Baisheng. Even Qin Baisheng showed a peculiar look, and while still having his eyes closed, he spoke. Oh? Then this fight is going to be truly interesting. Take this, first finger. Light, illuminated heavenly court. Eternal and indestructible. The giant image in the air, formed by the refinement path Gu formation, was no longer dazzling. Its radiance was completely restrained. Good. The first stage is finished. All the materials have been processed. The second stage is to draw in heaven's will. Heaven overseeing Tower Lord said after he inspected it once. Draw in heaven's will, Fairy Tsang Shui mumbled. Lin Jiusheng and Bai Qin Tian also bore serious expressions. Heaven overseeing Tower Lord continued to explain. Heaven's will is also known as the will of heaven and earth. Humans have will. Heaven and earth also has will. Compared to heaven and earth, humans are tiny like ants, lowly like sand. They are basically not worthy of being mentioned. Heaven's will is the most important immortal material to restore fake Gu. Now, it will be an extremely long and arduous process of managing this refinement path Gu formation. Because we need to resist heaven's will is boundless. We cannot let it ruin our minds. Otherwise, we will suffer extremely severe injuries or even die. Heavenly Court has lost quite a few rank 8 Gu immortals in this process. More preparation may quicken the speed of work. Now we will take turns to rest and recover. All right, Central Continent. Who immortal blessed land that a piece of lamb that was as large as cattle was laid out in front of Fang Yuan, dripping in blood. Fang Yuan sat on the ground and tore a portion of the meat and put it in his mouth. His basin-sized mouth chewed continuously for a moment before swallowing it. Trickles of blood flowed out from the gaps between his sharp teeth and seeped out of his lips. Fang Yuan's face, however, showed a satisfied and happy expression. This lamb was not ordinary meat, but was the meat of a giant horned sheep. Fang Yuan had captured a live, strength-path desolate beast, giant horned sheep, previously in northern plains. Right now, he was using each strength immortal goo to devour the meat and increase the strength path Dao marks on his body. I am a strength path goo immortal after all. Strength path Dao marks are my foundation. Fang Yuan kept eating while looking back mentally over the defensive battle of Lang Ya blessed land. In this battle, Fang Yuan had first tested vaguely familiar face, deceiving almost everyone. The effect satisfied him. Secondly, he used Star Path killer moves in actual battle. Star Cloud Grindstone, Star Snake Rope, 6 Illusion Star Bodies, and Position Star Swap. Actual battle was vastly different from normal practice. Fang Yuan was able to comprehend an additional layer of understanding regarding these 4 immortal killer moves through the battle. Naturally, Star-Lord Wanxiang's Star Path Inheritance did not have just these 4 killer moves. However, Fang Yuan could only use these 4 currently, because he only had 3 Star Path Immortal Goo, Star Mark, Starlight, and Star Shoot. These 3 Immortal Goo were used in turns as the cores of the 4 Star Path killer moves. Star-Lord Wanxiang had 4 Immortal Goo, but 1 was destroyed in battle. Thus, only 3 ended up in Fang Yuan's hands. I had thought of using the Light of Wisdom to deduce some Strength Path Immortal Killer moves to make up for my weak points. But these Star Path killer moves are quite good and can be of use for now. There is no need for me to waste my time and energy. Through this battle of defense in Lang Ya blessed land, Fang Yuan was able to gain an even more clear understanding of his own battle strength. When considering Star Path killer moves, my battle strength is already firmly at the peak of rank 6. Just based on the offensive aspect, with Myriad Self, my battle strength can match rank 7. But I am still quite far away from being able to fight with veteran rank 7 Goo Immortals, and can only try my best to pester and stall them. As for Qin Baisheng, I have no hope of matching him. He is a quasi-rank 8. An expert like Feng Jiu. This battle made Fang Yuan truly recognize the power of Qin Baisheng. Due to this, in the entire battle, Fang Yuan generally did not use his full strength and was basically going with the flow. Only at the last juncture did he display Myriad Self Giant Hand. Under such a situation, being high profile was seeking death. From start to finish, Fang Yuan had placed some of his attention to controlling fixed immortal travel constantly. Once something went wrong, he was ready to immediately retreat. Who is this Qin Baisheng? His true strength is actually so great. He Cheng, Jiang Yu, Hui Feng Zi, and the others, why are they together? Qin Baisheng seems to be their leader, and with He Cheng in their group, He Lulan's revenge is probably hopeless. Now that I think about it, the hidden details regarding Lang Ya blessed land run very deep. There is more than meets the eye. In the memories of Fang Yuan's previous life, Lang Ya blessed land had resisted 7 waves of attacks, but now, just in this 4th wave, there were signs of not being able to resist. What was the truth in history? Was it because of influence from Fang Yuan that Lang Ya blessed land's situation had changed? A thick fog had appeared in front of Fang Yuan. Even if I was in perfect condition, when facing Qin Baisheng, especially that immortal killer move Soul Suppression, I simply wouldn't have any strength to strike back. Truly powerless. Fang Yuan gazed down at his hand. His hand was stained with blood. Compared to Qin Baisheng, Fang Yuan seemed like this giant horned sheep which could only allow itself to be slaughtered by another. Heaven and earth was vast. Nature was boundless. The more one knew, the more they would find out how ignorant they are. The stronger one became, the more they would find how weak they are. The legends of Rinzhu had an interesting account. Boundless Forest Samsara was separated from her father, Rinzhu, and could only stay in ordinary abyss. She was heartbroken and did not feel happy eating the fruits anymore. Every day, she would shed tears and weep incessantly until she got tired and gradually fell asleep. In a dream of hers, she vaguely heard some extremely soft voices and felt something small, like an ant, was climbing her body. Immediately, she woke up and sat up and saw a mini-man was climbing on her body. Because of Boundless Forest Samsara's movement, this mini-man's foothold became unstable and it fell to the ground. Who are you? There is actually such a small person like you in the world. Boundless Forest Samsara saw the mini-man that was not even the size of her finger and felt extremely curious, forgetting to cry for a moment. The mini-man looked at the giant Boundless Forest Samsara with a stupefied look, and after the shock, he raised his head and started crying loudly. Hey, 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 little person, I am not crying. What are you crying for? Boundless Forest Samsara was puzzled. The mini-man spoke while crying. I am the tallest in my tribe, and I was brave, arrogant, and proud because of this. Today, I intended to climb a mountain, but to think that this mountain was really a person. There are actually such giant people like you in the world. This is the first time I've seen someone like you. So I burst into tears. Almost every person who explored and grew up would have such a mental journey. The more they saw, the more they realized their weaknesses. Sometimes they would sigh at the vastness of the world, and sometimes they would find how far their goal was, and to reach their goal, they had to go through an endless journey which they had not considered before. They would feel loss, bewilderment, discouragement, panic, even hopelessness. Thus, one could understand the mini-man crying when it saw Boundless Forest Samsara. Thinking back to my previous life, I also was once perplexed and had cried. There are mountains beyond mountains, and experts beyond experts. There are always stronger existences than me. Eternal life is too far away. How could my insignificant self achieve it? Fang Yuan gazed at his bloody palm and was lost in thought for a while. After a long time, he suddenly smiled, revealing his sharp fangs, still too weak. Whether it was my previous life or this life, I am like that mini-man that wanted to climb the mountain. But my insignificance won't be an excuse to stop chasing after the grandness. Only the cowardly and defeated will look for excuses. Even if tears are shed and snot flows out, I will continue to climb the mountain. This is the pleasure of life. As he thought of this, Fang Yuan ripped apart another portion of bloody meat and bit it. The sharp teeth ruthlessly chewed at the meat. Trickles of fresh blood seeped out of his lips. Chapter 887, Short Break. Half a month later, in Fang Yuan's dead immortal aperture, two wills were in a fierce struggle. One will was like specks of starlight, flickering brightly. The other will was illusory, suddenly going in and retreating just as suddenly. They were a star will and a fake will. These two wills had already fought for 7 minutes. The star will was slowly unable to keep up with the fake will, and was showing signs of losing. However, with a shift of Fang Yuan's mind, a new portion of will descended from the sky and joined the battle like reinforcements, immediately changing the battle situation. In the end, the fake will was defeated miserably with only a few fragments of it remaining. Fang Yuan, you will die a terrible death. The fake will could not condense into any form, and used all its strength to curse a stammering voice that a curse from such a weak being was simply of no importance. The star will won. It condensed into Fang Yuan's image and sneered while glancing at Mo Yao's fake will, before it flew to the sky and left the dead immortal aperture. I have already made large progress in battles of wills. Now, in a 1 versus 1, although I cannot defeat Mo Yao and am defeated every time, Mo Yao's will also doesn't have an easy time, and recently all her victories are achieved with difficulty. While Fang Yuan was evaluating himself inwardly, the star will entered his mind, and the information received this time appeared in his mind. Fang Yuan originally had no expectations, but the information this time gave him a slight surprise. Spring dream fruit tree? Fang Yuan's mind jolted. During her travels in the outside world, Mo Yao had once unexpectedly found a spring dream fruit tree near a nameless hamlet. At that time, the conceptualization of dream path was very minimal, and there were no external manifestation of dream realms. Even Heavenly Court's exploration of dream realms was extremely shallow, and Mo Yao only felt the tree was somewhat strange. She did not recognize it, so she engraved it in her mind. She left this spring dream fruit tree in its place and did not move it. Spring dream fruit tree was not a desolate plant and looked ordinary. Normal Gu immortals would not be able to find anything wrong. It was only because Mo Yao's investigative killer move was rather unique that she discovered some strange points about the spring dream fruit tree. But she was only slightly curious. It was not an immortal material after all. Later, because of other matters, she did not visit that hamlet again. That spring dream fruit tree all along had been left there. Time brings great changes. So many years had gone by. Who knew what had happened to that tree? Perhaps it was already cut down by mortals. Maybe it was destroyed by fire, or maybe it was still there. The possibilities were too many. It was anyone's guess. This old hag, Mo Yao, is still hard to deal with. She suppressed this memory in the deepest layers until she could no longer hide it, and I found it. But according to this state, almost all the things she knew have been squeezed out by me. Fang Yuan suppressed the thought to go and take the spring dream fruit tree. In fact, he had also obtained another valuable clue earlier. It was in regards to hibiscus stalactites. This was a genuine immortal material. However, when he had secretly gone to that place, he discovered the main area was already secretly occupied by Spirit Affinity House. Fang Yuan thought for a while before deciding not to go. Therefore, Fang Yuan did not hold much hope in regards to the spring dream fruit tree. Moreover, to retrieve the spring dream fruits, he had to use special dream path methods and also make other preparations. If there truly are spring dream fruits, they will be of huge help to me in refining dream path mortal goo. After all, the materials used in refining dream path goo worms are truly scarce. Ever since he got the immortal killer move Unravel Dream, no matter how busy he was, Fang Yuan would spend some time almost every day to refine dream path mortal goo. If he had spring dream fruits, it would be of great help in refining these dream path mortal goo. Even with a conservative estimation, the efficiency of refining the goo would multiply by at least times. The extremely weak Mo Yao's will was left in the dead immortal aperture to slowly recover. Fang Yuan opened his eyes and left his bed, moving to Dang Hun Palace's prison. Jiu Fang Zheng was held captive here. He was lying on a stone bed, his eyes vacantly gazing at the ceiling without moving. Immortal Crane sect had abandoned him, and this to him was an extremely heavy impact. After the initial hysterical shouting and wailing, Fang Zheng had turned into this state. Fang Yuan began to speak. Even if his voice was filled with ridicule, or belittling and cursing Immortal Crane sect, as well as Lord Sky Crane, Fang Zheng did not respond. Fang Yuan did not mind and continued to speak for a while before leaving. Re-educating his little brother required time and could not be done in one step. Fang Yuan had already expected this and also did not lack patience. Every set interval of time, he would take the initiative to visit Fang Zheng in Dang Hun Palace. He could completely monitor Fang Zheng's every action from far away. The true intention behind Fang Yuan personally arriving was to let Fang Zheng know he had visited. Fang Yuan left the area and entered another prison. Up to this point, Fang Yuan's prisons had already held many prisoners. Other than Mo Yao's fake will and Guyu Fang Zheng, there was Dong Fang Chong Fan's soul, the rank 7 Featherman Gu Immortal Zheng Ling's soul, and finally, Shuesong Zi's soul, which he had captured in the Battle of Lang Ye Blessed Land. Dong Fang Chong Fan's soul was already completely searched by Fang Yuan, and the only value it had left was the soul itself. Meanwhile, the souls of Zheng Ling and Shuesong Zi still had great value. Over these last days after returning from Lang Ye Blessed Land, Fang Yuan had been constantly soul-searching these two. That the gains were considerable. Large numbers of mortal goo recipes, many mortal killer moves, some immortal killer moves, a few immortal goo recipes, as well as secret knowledge, many treasure troves and clues too. Inheritances, however, because Zheng Ling was a wind path goo immortal and Shuesong Zi was a snow path goo immortal, these were not suitable for Fang Yuan's strength path or star path. Before Fang Yuan got hold of wind path immortal goo or snow path immortal goo, these things could only increase his accumulation and strengthen his foundation. One thing worth noting was that Shuesong Zi's soul had been tampered with, and his most recent memories were erased. Thus, Fang Yuan did not know why Shuesong Zi and He Cheng were in cahoots with Qin Baisheng. Such a soul path method was extremely profound, making Fang Yuan lost in wonder and unable to do anything. Naturally, the souls of Zheng Ling and Shuesong Zi were still not completely searched. The future gains were still unknown variables. As for Lang Ye Land Spirit's reward, it was indeed extremely bountiful. Fang Yuan not only received the previously agreed upon rank 6 Immortal Goo recipe of All Out Effort Goo. Moreover, under Fang Yuan's persistence, Lang Ye Land Spirit fully imparted the method to relocate a blessed land to Fang Yuan. These were only 2 rewards, but they had extremely huge value to Fang Yuan. There was no need to mention the value of all-out effort Gu's immortal Gu recipe, speaking instead of the method of relocating a blessed land. Whether it be Hu immortal blessed land or star form blessed land, both needed to be moved urgently. But the cost of this method was extraordinary and would inflict huge damage to the blessed land itself, and it required using 12 immortal Gu at the same time. Langya land spirit had already prepared to relocate Langya blessed land. After the relocation, he would lend these immortal Gu to Fang Yuan for Fang Yuan to relocate his blessed lands. Naturally, the price of borrowing these Gu was very high. Chapter 888, Entering Eastern Sea. 2 months later, at a certain place in Eastern Sea, Fang Yuan and Tai Bai Yunsheng stood quietly on a cloud, waiting for Shark Demon and others. The sun was setting now, causing a huge area of clouds with a burning red appearance to the west. Even the sea underneath them was dyed red. Waves after waves appeared in the sea. Under such elegant turbulence, the last rays of light shone brightly onto these water droplets. They were bright and red. Together with the burning red-looking clouds, a beautiful scene was formed. Every time I see such a beautiful sight, I will stop and immerse myself in this atmosphere, sighing at the marvels of nature. Tai Bai Yunsheng had a deep gaze as he sighed. Right now, I am someone who has succeeded in immortal ascension, but I can feel that this world is still so grand and majestic. It makes one feel like they are an insignificant insect, having a great sense of inferiority. Comparing mankind to heaven, we are really insignificant. Maybe only rank 9 Gu venerables would have the qualifications to contest with heaven and earth. I have no such hope. Fang Yuan laughed heartily. Brother Tai Bai, don't think too lowly of yourself. Do you remember from The Legends of Renzu, that story of the mini-man? When we recognize that we are tiny and insignificant, we have to try and get even stronger. We are tiny, but to stop being ignorant and become wise, you will feel pain, because that shows you are growing. Xingxiangzi, you still have such grand ambitions. Ha ha. Tai Bai Yunsheng was stunned for a moment before he laughed as well. The two were still conversing, when a Gu immortal emerged from the sea below them. Who is this? Fang Yuan shouted. Lords, please calm down. My name is Sha Nanjiang. I was sent by Lord Shark Demon to invite both of you over. The person smiled as he introduced himself. Sha Nanjiang's body rose up. In a few breaths of time, he arrived at Fang Yuan and Tai Bai Yunsheng's location. He was a rank 6 immortal zombie. His body was strong and muscular. He had a bald head with a copper band on it. He had icy blue eyes and his skin was like old tree bark. His arms and legs were exposed on the outside. His fingers were webbed. His ears looked like fish fins. They were sharp and extended towards the back of his head. Fang Yuan twiddled his fingers, suddenly asking, Scenic blue travel immortal zombie body? Sha Nanjiang's mild smile froze. He stared at Fang Yuan as he cupped his fists. Sir must be the wisdom path Gu immortal Xingxiangzi? Impressive. My scenic blue travel immortal zombie body was self-created. I have just come out of close cultivation. I have not told anybody. Sir only made a small deduction and actually found out its name. Fang Yuan chuckled. I am not a wisdom path Gu immortal. I mainly cultivate star path. I only secondarily cultivate wisdom path. Earlier, I was just guessing randomly. I was lucky to have been correct. Fang Yuan was very humble. Tai Bai Yunsheng watched at the side, laughing to himself inwardly. This was the first time Tai Bai Yunsheng met this Sha Nanjiang. Thus, the scene earlier occurred. Sha Nanjiang used an immortal killer move to sneak over here. When he reached the sea beneath Fang Yuan and Tai Bai Yunsheng, his traces were exposed by Fang Yuan. This was the probing of Sha Nanjiang. But soon, Fang Yuan retaliated and deduced the name of Sha Nanjiang's immortal zombie body. When Gu immortals interact, their strength was the most important thing. After some mutual probing, they could win each other's respect. Sha Nanjiang no longer dared to be careless. He showed a serious expression that he nodded to Fang Yuan, having a respectful expression, before turning his gaze to Tai Bai Yunsheng. Please follow me. Lord Shark Demon and the others are already attacking you, Lu blessed land. A moment later, the three of them dived into the seawater and saw a door at the bottom of the sea. This door was circular and had a light color. It looked like porcelain or jade. Chains of water crystal pearls lined the top of the door as they hung, forming a veil and blocking the entrance. Fang Yuan's eyes showed a look of curiosity. He would definitely not think that this door that had suddenly appeared was made of jade. This was the entrance of Yu Lu Blessed Land. It only showed its outer appearance, but its true purpose was to act as the connection between Yu Lu Blessed Land and the outside world. The entrance was extremely significant to small worlds like Blessed Lands and Grotto Heavens. Once the entrance was closed, the immortal aperture world would become an enclosed small world, isolated from the outside world. If Gu immortals from outside the immortal aperture wanted to enter, it would be extremely difficult. One could say, the entrance was the first difficulty to tackle when invading a blessed land. Back then, immortal crane sects Feng Yuan and Fairy Tsang Yu worked together to attack Fang Yuan's immortal blessed land. In order to solve the problem of the entrance, they used Fang Zheng and a blood path method to locate it. Only after locating the blessed land did they enter immortal blessed land. Qin Bai Sheng and the others invaded Langya blessed land. They also made use of the souls of the hairy man Gu immortal undercover agents to locate it and enter Langya blessed land. Thus, even if Fang Yuan did not capture Fang Zheng to use blood deity, he would still need to be concerned about the safety of immortal blessed land and deal with Fang Zheng. In that case, there would be no way of tracking him. Even if they knew the location of immortal blessed land precisely, even if they could break the space between the two worlds, they could not connect to the inside of the blessed land. As the three arrived in front of the light jade door, Sha Nanjiang activated his Gu worms as the crystal veil of the entrance lifted and the door opened. "Sirs, please enter." Sha Nanjiang invited. Tai Bai Yunsheng saw this and smiled. "Your alliance has formidable methods. You can already control the entrance." Sha Nanjiang smiled lightly. "Sir Tai Bai might not know. Ever since the failure 2 months ago, Lord Shark Demon returned to the Zombie Alliance headquarters and spent a huge sum of contribution points to request for the help of a rank 7 wisdom path immortal zombie. Right now, we have already gotten through the round of vanishing immortal essence dissipation rain and entered deeper within. This entrance was also completely under our alliance's control since a month ago." Fang Yuan and Tai Bai Yunsheng nodded. They stepped into Yu Lu Blessed Land. After entering the Blessed Land, they did not see Yu Lu Blessed Land's true appearance. Instead, they were inside a frozen world that was completely white. This is the third round after vanishing immortal essence dissipation rain. It is a battlefield killer move called freezing rain frozen earth. Every hour, there would be intense freezing rain, as well as attacks from snow monsters. Lord Shark Demon and the rest are just up ahead. Sha Nanjiang introduced. "Freezing rain frozen earth," Fang Yuan muttered lightly. He gazed around, showcasing huge interest regarding this battlefield killer move. He had already eliminated his earlier weakness after gaining several star path techniques, be it attack, defense, movement, investigation, or healing. He had no apparent gaps. Even in terms of investigation, Fang Yuan had an immortal killer move. Not long ago, Sha Nanjiang was exposed by Fang Yuan. That was because of a star path investigative immortal killer move. His current battle strength was firmly at the peak of rank 6. If he used Myriad Self, he would reach rank 7 battle strength. What Fang Yuan lacked now was a battlefield killer move that if he had a battlefield killer move, he could kill a Northern Plains Zombie Alliance immortal zombie secretly, taking over their identity and infiltrating the place. For this goal, Fang Yuan sought Fairy Lishan for help, but she rejected him. Fang Yuan racked his brains over it. He was an astute person. He found another method to take a step back and make an alternative goal. He decided to get into Eastern Sea Zombie Alliance's headquarters. Thus, he used the appearance and identity of an ordinary star path Gu immortal, Xing Xiangzi, and came to Eastern Sea with Tai Bai Yunsheng, intentionally getting close to Shark Demon and the others. "Brother Tai Bai, we meet again." Ha ha. A moment later, when everyone met, Shark Demon was extremely enthusiastic. He patted Tai Bai Yunsheng's shoulder and directed his gaze towards Fang Yuan. "Sir must be Brother Tai Bai's best friend, Xing Xiangzi? Since you are Brother Tai Bai's friend, you are also my friend. I am but a wandering lone cultivator. I would not dare to." Fang Yuan smiled humbly. He wore a large blue robe. His hair was white like snow, but his skin was tender like a baby's skin. He had a poised and sagely appearance. In fact, he looked more appealing than Tai Bai Yun Shang. One could not help but feel some fondness upon seeing him. Shark Demon's wife, Su Bai Man, asked, "Don't be so humble, Xing Xiangzi. I heard that Sir has quite an impressive wisdom path attainment level. Can we have a demonstration?" Fang Yuan looked towards her. Su Bai Man was an immortal zombie, but he could see her former beauty and elegance. As the saying goes, a beautiful woman leads to a hero's grave. It was no wonder that Shark Demon turned himself into a zombie, sacrificing his immense cultivation prospects to accompany Su Bai Man immediately. Fang Yuan replied to her without hesitation. "Then I will give it a try. Please do forgive me if I mess up. Just go for it, Sir Xing Xiangzi. Even if you fail, nobody will blame you." Shark Demon replied he had a ruthless and fierce nature. He usually looked at people coldly, but this was the first time he was meeting Fang Yuan, yet he was so warm and enthusiastic. Evidently, he was giving Tai Bai Yun Sheng face. Or rather, he was giving face towards the man as before immortal goo that Tai Bai Yun Sheng had. Fang Yuan raised his head and observed the surroundings. This world before him was a land of snow and ice. It was completely white. It indeed was a battlefield killer move. They were often known as quasi-blessed lands. Fang Yuan activated many wisdom path goo worms within his immortal aperture. He used several wisdom path investigative killer moves in front of everyone. But he saw no flaws. The entire battlefield was completely unchanged and intact. He could not finding a point of weakness, but Fang Yuan was not anxious. Even though he had studied very hard over the last 2 months, becoming proficient with many wisdom path techniques, the battlefield killer move in front of him was not simple. It was created by Fairy Yulu. Fairy Yulu was a remarkable person. She had an impressive origin, being a disciple of Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable. He was the one who left behind the #1 battlefield killer move inheritance in the entire history of humanity. Fairy Yulu's battlefield killer move was certain to be extraordinary. Impressive. This battlefield killer move is completely fused with Yulu Blessed Land. It seems that it was created using the Dao marks in the Blessed Land. Such methods are much more advanced than Langya Blessed Land. Fang Yuan observed for a long time. He gradually found some interesting points. Langya Land Spirit did not dare to set up a battlefield killer move in his Blessed Land to deal with Qin Bai Sheng. He only used the 12-wave cloud confusion goo formation to deal with them. Langya Land Spirit was afraid that the temporary Dao marks created in setting up a battlefield killer move would harm the Blessed Land greatly. In fact, in the current cultivation world, most goo immortals would not dare to use a battlefield killer move in their Blessed Lands or Grotto Heavens. Once the temporary Dao marks made by the battlefield killer move clashed with the Dao marks in the immortal aperture small world, the battlefield killer move would fail, and the goo immortal would face a backlash. In the worst-case scenario, the Dao marks will conflict with each other, unleashing terrifying strength that could destroy the Blessed Land and kill the goo immortal on the spot. This had the same principle with the backlash of refining goo. But Fairy Yulu was indeed a great expert in battlefield killer moves. She directly countered this weakness by using incredible techniques that were out of Fang Yuan's imagination. She even greatly surpassed a fossil like Langya Land Spirit in this regard. Fang Yuan was secretly in admiration and anticipation. It would be great if I can obtain Fairy Yulu's inheritance. Even if I get only one battlefield killer move that suits me, it would be a wonderful thing. Chapter 889, Freezing Rain Frozen Earth. Within the battlefield killer move Freezing Rain Frozen Earth, Fang Yuan used wisdom path techniques one after another, making continuous deductions. Freezing Rain Frozen Earth was made using the Dao marks inside Yulu Blessed Land. They were not temporary Dao marks. This made it very troublesome to deal with. Shark Demon and the others could not break this battlefield killer move forcefully. If they destroyed it, they would be destroying the Dao marks inside Yulu Blessed Land. This would cause irreparable damage to Yulu Blessed Land. This was the same as saying Qin Bai Sheng snatched away a portion of the immortal goo house, refinement cauldron. This cased Langya Blessed Land to lose a large number of Dao marks. It was a devastating loss. Shark Demon and the others attacked Yulu Blessed Land for the inheritance and resources inside. Furthermore, violently destroying a battlefield killer move required a powerful offensive immortal killer move that in turn meant that they would expend a huge amount of immortal essence. Thinking about the costs and benefits, Shark Demon and the others could only try to properly unravel the battlefield killer move freezing rain frozen earth. Thankfully, this Ulu-blessed land was ownerless, and it was unknown if there was a land spirit. Fang Yuan had many Gu immortal guards around him. They gave him a lot of freedom to research and decipher the environment. Fang Yuan squinted his eyes as starlight shot out of his pupils at this moment. In his mind, countless star thoughts were moving about, clashing into each other as he deduced rapidly. Fang Yuan was putting in all his effort now in deducing freezing rain frozen earth. Firstly, deducing such a high-quality battlefield killer move could give Fang Yuan a lot of new knowledge and inspiration, even if Fang Yuan could not obtain a battlefield killer move that suited him. With this knowledge and inspiration, he had a firm foundation to create his own battlefield killer move. Secondly, the plan for Fang Yuan after entering Eastern Sea was to enter the headquarters of Eastern Sea Zombie Alliance. This was the first time he was meeting Shark Demon. He had to display his worth so that Shark Demon would think highly of him, helping to recommend him into Eastern Sea Zombie Alliance's headquarters as he deduced at a rapid rate. Time passed quickly as well. Time is almost up. The freezing rain is going to start soon. The snow monsters will form and attack us. How much longer does Sir Xing Xiangzi need? A Gu immortal that came along with Shark Demon asked impatiently. His name was Bo Dan, a Gu immortal member of Eastern Sea Zombie Alliance. He was not an immortal zombie, but a living person. But he was in difficult straits and did not have a high status after joining Eastern Sea Zombie Alliance. Because he had some wisdom path attainment, he was brought into Ulu Blessed Land by Shark Demon to join in this invasion. Before Fang Yuan appeared, Bo Dan was the only pseudo-wisdom path Gu immortal in the group. The appearance of Xing Xiangzi threatened his status and benefits. If Fang Yuan made a successful deduction, would that not show that Bo Dan was useless, seeing that Fang Yuan was not making progress? Bo Dan could not hold it in anymore. He vaguely exerted pressure on Fang Yuan. The other Gu immortals were also paying attention to Fang Yuan's performance. Bo Dan asked the question they had internally. Fang Yuan laughed lightly. He did not try to protect his face. He said directly, "I am ashamed. This battlefield killer move is very profound. After deducing it for so long, I have only made some minor progress. This battlefield killer move, freezing rain frozen earth, was indeed worthy of the work of the rank 8 great expert, Fairy Yulu." Fang Yuan used many wisdom path techniques in turn, but he made no progress. It was like he was facing a giant barrier. He did not even know where to start. Is that so? Su Bai Man sighed, feeling disappointed. Fang Yuan was unwilling to give up this chance. Give me a bit more time. I will continue to deduce. Shark Demon nodded. He said, Xing Xiangzi, go ahead and make your deductions. We will block this attack for you. At the same time, Shark Demon was considering other thoughts internally. Xing Xiangzi was highly recommended by Tai Bai Yunsheng, but now it seems that he is not as amazing as he was said to be. Sigh, last time the battlefield killer move already made me pay a huge price in asking a wisdom path immortal zombie in Zombie Alliance to help. I have already invested a huge sum into Ulu Blessed Land. I need to be thrifty. If this Xing Xiangzi can really unravel this battlefield killer move, that would be the best outcome. But now, the other Gu immortals looked at Fang Yuan with much less expectations. Bo Dan watched at the side. He laughed to himself internally. In the previous battlefield killer moves, I could at least find the Gu worms lurking behind it. But this time, I could not even find any clues. I'm curious, how will you find a breakthrough? As expected, a moment later, in the sky above this battlefield, a small drizzle of freezing rain started. These raindrops were like tiny ice needles, rather than raining. This was more like the falling of ice needles, piercing the air and shooting towards Fang Yuan and the others. The Gu immortals used their defensive techniques. Bo Dan did not have an immortal Gu. He was protected by Shark Demon's defensive immortal killer move. Fang Yuan was also shielded by Shark Demon. Countless ice needles shot down, but they were blocked by the light barrier. Because the needles were moving extremely quickly, they caused sparks to appear on the light barrier. Fang Yuan willed, using Star Cloud Grindstone and entering it he was not going to place his safety in the hands of others. Seeing Fang Yuan's defensive immortal killer move, the other Gu immortals' gazes shined. Their attitudes changed slightly. Fang Yuan could use an immortal killer move. He definitely had an immortal Gu. A Gu immortal with. Immortal Gu was not to be underestimated in Eastern Sea's Gu immortal world. Not all Gu immortals had immortal Gu. In fact, most rank 6 Gu immortals could only use mortal killer moves. They were unable to obtain an immortal Gu even after much difficulty. The intensity of the rain increased, as the ice needles slowly turned into stronger ice darts. The ice darts tore through space, creating shrill and loud sounds. The Gu immortals defended together. They placed all their efforts on defense. They were also inwardly counting the expenditure of their immortal essence. This battlefield changed a little after using a new attack. A tiny flaw has appeared, and I can make use of it. It is no longer like before when I had no clue at all. Fang Yuan's heart shook. He felt a sense of joy that he moved quickly, 3 times as fast as earlier, at the same time as using mortal killer moves. He also used Wisdom Path Mortal Gu. These killer moves and Mortal Gu hit the air, causing smoke to rise, thunderous explosions, or jade green acid to splatter. Fang Yuan used all sorts of methods to test this flaw, but the effect was quite lackluster. The ice dart rain had turned into an icicle storm. The Gu immortal's immortal essence expenditure rose at a rapid speed. Roar! With a loud sound, a huge snow monster charged over from the icy rain that filled everyone's vision. Snow monsters were the prey of snowmen. By eating the flesh and blood of snow monsters, snowmen could breed more rapidly and even gain lifespan. A 30 feet tall snow monster could battle a rank 3 Gu master. 40 feet tall had the strength of a rank 4 Gu master. And 50 feet tall had the terrifying power of a rank 5 Gu master. But the snow monster right now was about 60 feet tall. This was a desolate beast-level snow monster. It was not to be underestimated. Try not to kill them. Even if these snow monsters die in battle, they will revive. They are very persistent. Su Bai Man quickly reminded. Fang Yuan's heart shook. Endlessly reviving snow monsters? How can we fight them like this? Tai Bai Yunsheng also had a change in expression. Don't worry, once the time is up, these snow monsters will vanish on their own. They will only reappear during the next time the freezing rain appears. Shark Demon explained. A Gu immortal to the left of Shark Demon sighed in a worried tone. This freezing rain frozen earth battlefield killer move already had a hint of resemblance to reincarnation battlefield. Fairy Yulu was a disciple of Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable. She might have obtained some insight regarding reincarnation and rebirth. One after another, snow monsters appeared. They made it very hard for Shark Demon and the others to defend themselves. The attacks of the snow monsters were very powerful, and they did not lack mobility. The Gu immortals did not want to face them directly. They attacked unceasingly, using immortal killer moves to disrupt the charging snow monsters, slowing their speeds and preventing them from getting close. Fang Yuan's joy intensified. When the snow monsters appeared, he found out that this battlefield killer move had even more flaws. There's hope. Fang Yuan cheered on himself. He had only received the Wisdom Path inheritance for a short amount of time. His Wisdom Path attainment level was at ordinary level. Even though he worked hard without relaxing or slacking off, attainment levels needed accumulation over time. Calling Fang Yuan a half-baked user was a huge compliment already. He was more like a Wisdom Path newbie, but now, this Wisdom Path newbie was trying to unravel the killer move, freezing rain frozen earth. Using an analogy from Earth, this was like asking an elementary school student to do a senior high school mathematics problem. Fang Yuan grabbed onto this flaw he found. His hands were moving faster and faster. Eventually, under his deductions, he found a Gu worm. This was a mortal Gu. It was coordinated with countless mortal Gu and immortal Gu to form the battlefield killer move freezing rain frozen earth. Go! Fang Yuan willed and a star snake rope flew out, coiling around this mortal Gu rapidly. But when Fang Yuan was about to drag this mortal Gu back for research, this mortal Gu self-detonated. The star snake rope missed its target. It could only return to Fang Yuan's side. Such movements attracted the attentions of the other Gu immortals. Because this mortal Gu was destroyed, the freezing rain became significantly weaker. He actually found a flaw? Bo Dan was shocked. He had once tried to look for flaws during the period of attacking, but he had no gains. Bo Dan's wisdom path inheritance was too incomplete. It was of low quality and had limited methods. In contrast, Fang Yuan's inheritance was extremely impressive. It had extraordinary origins. It led to the creation of many powerful wisdom path Gu immortals, and its last owner was the #1 wisdom path Gu immortal in Northern Plains, Dong Fangchong Fan. Even with Fang Yuan's ability, he could find a flaw in the freezing rain-frozen earth. This showed how impressive this inheritance truly was. Good, Shark Demon praised. But just as he said that, the storm above them became 3 times as fierce. Swish, swish, swish. Rain poured down like a storm. The icicles were sharp and emitted immense pressure on the Gu immortals who were defending against the attack. Xingxiangzi, what in the world did you do? Bo Dan grabbed onto this great opportunity and chided. Fang Yuan's heart also jumped. He knew that he was too rash. Even if he found a Gu worm that formed the battlefield killer move, he should not have destroyed it at will. Otherwise, it would lead to an even stronger resistance and attack. But soon, Fang Yuan felt joyful again. After this mortal Gu was destroyed, the battlefield killer move freezing rain frozen earth had 2 more flaws. This way, there was more hope in unraveling the battlefield killer move. Chapter 890, Framing. Soon, using the star thoughts in his mind to make deductions, Fang Yuan found the location of a few more Gu worms. Their locations could not be found with investigative methods, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, a total of 4 spots. There are Gu worms hiding there, but they are all mortal Gu. They are really hiding well. Even with my Star Path investigative immortal killer move, I could not find them. With his earlier experience, Fang Yuan did not try and destroy these mortal Gu again. He remained unmoved, continuing to observe and deduce. So close. Soon, he sighed internally, finding a point of danger. The mortal Gu that was hiding at that place formed a crucial spot in the battlefield killer move. In his initial estimations, Fang Yuan found out that by killing this Gu, he would reduce the power of the freezing rain and snow monsters by 50 to 60%. But after further deductions, Fang Yuan obtained new findings. If he really eliminated the Gu, that would result in problems. Even though the current attack would be weaker, the next attack would happen more quickly, and its power will be 3 times as great. The current attacks were already very difficult for Shark Demon and the others to defend against. The freezing rain continued. It expended quite a lot of immortal essence. The immortal zombies were feeling a big headache. The 60 feet tall snow monsters came one after another. The Gu immortals did not dare to be careless. If the attack becomes thrice as strong, ancient desolate beast-level snow monsters might show up. Fang Yuan was internally shocked. The risk of unraveling this battlefield killer move was too high. If he lost his concentration even once, he would suffer severe consequences. And this was only against mortal Gu, the mortal Gu that made up the outer layer. If he was dealing with Gu worms inside the inner layer, if Fang Yuan's methods were incorrect, he would face an even fiercer backlash. Fang Yuan got past the flaws and continued probing the other areas. Time passed quickly, but Fang Yuan made no progress. This is the 4th wave already. Sigh. How much longer do we have to endure? An immortal zombie sighed. Since joining this invasion, the amount of immortal essence that he had already spent was causing him to feel loss. In this current situation, no matter how much immortal essence we use, what would be the point if we don't see any results? Bo Dan provoked. Shark Demon and the others were feeling frustrated. Their attentions were directed towards Fang Yuan. This was the first time they had met Xingxiangzi. They did not know what ability Fang Yuan had in Wisdom Path. Bo Dan was already useless. Now the heavy burden of dismantling the battlefield killer move fell onto this stranger's hands. Could they rely on him or not? Lord Xingxiangzi, since the start, you have been using mortal techniques to probe it. Look at this. Even though the circumstances are not critical yet, it is already a tough situation. Why don't you use immortal level wisdom path techniques? Don't worry. According to the rules, the amount of immortal essence that you consume will be compensated to you later. You do not need to worry about the expenditure. Bo Dan said again. Fang Yuan frowned. This Bo Dan had ill intentions. He had tried to sow discord time and time again. Fang Yuan was well aware of the troubles of being an immortal zombie. Immortal essence was hard to obtain. He treasured his supply greatly. But now, there were huge losses but little progress. Even if Shark Demon stayed silent, and Su Bai Man remained impassive, he could guess the other immortal zombies' frustrations. Fang Yuan could understand why Bo Dan was targeting him. But understanding was one thing. His provocative acts were akin to stabbing a dagger into Fang Yuan's back. Immediately, Fang Yuan gave Bo Dan a deep look as he manipulated moving perspective cup goo, transmitting to Tai Bai Yun Sheng. Tai Bai Yun Sheng cooperated with him, speaking, "Bo Dan, why are you so anxious? Lord Shark Demon has already said it. We will endure this wave of attacks and fight for time for Xing Xiangzi. Now that we're only halfway through this wave, you want to run away already? Or do you think that you have made immense contributions already?" Bo Dan's expression changed. He said in a tone of one who was wronged, "Why would I dare to, Lord Tai Bai Yun Sheng? You have misunderstood me." He knew deeply that Tai Bai Yun Sheng was Shark Demon's hot favorite. Everyone knew of the warm attitude that Shark Demon had towards Tai Bai Yun Sheng. Furthermore, Tai Bai Yun Sheng had an extraordinarily precious immortal goo. It was an impressive healing method. He could not be offended. "All right, stop arguing." Shark Demon tried to control the situation as he looked at Fang Yuan. "We have already gone through the first 3 waves. We can afford to keep going through this 4th wave." Fang Yuan felt Shark Demon's gaze as his heart sank. It seems that Shark Demon and the others were not confident in him at all. How could he allow that to happen? Fang Yuan knew the importance of a first impression. He wanted to join Eastern Sea Zombie Alliance with Shark Demon's recommendation. If he failed the first time he tried, Shark Demon's poor impression of him would make things hard in the future. Even if he showed his worth later, the effect would be far worse than now. In contrast, if he succeeded now, even if he failed in the future, in Shark Demon's perspective, it would be reasonable. After all, who would not fail sometimes? Based on Shark Demon's tone, it seems that he will not stay for the 5th wave. After all, the issue of cost is important in attacking a blessed land. Forget it. Fang Yuan evaluated inwardly. He made up his mind. He struck suddenly, attacking the goo worm from earlier. With a light sound, a goo worm broke. Another goo worm. Huh. Tai Bai Yun Sheng cooperated as he laughed loudly. Shark Demon and the others' expressions turned to joy. Their morale rose slightly. Bo Dan kept quiet. Following Fang Yuan's instructions, Tai Bai Yun Sheng did not let go of him. "How about that, Bo Dan? Regardless of whether a technique is mortal level or immortal level, the only importance is that it works." Bo Dan nodded, showing a smile. "Lord Tai Bai Yun Sheng is right. I was too rash earlier." He understood the reasoning of backing down. He did not retort. He had given in. Evidently, it was very hard to deal with people like him who could hold in a grudge. Tai Bai Yun Sheng continued. "The rest of you may not know, but I have known Brother Xing Xiangzi for a long time. I know how impressive his wisdom path techniques are." Tai Bai Yun Sheng's actions were like a friend trying to speak up for his good friend At this time. Fang Yuan pretended to have made huge advancements. He continued. I finally took down one important area. With this discovery, I have a greater confidence in unraveling this battlefield killer move now." "Is that so?" Su Bai Man's eyes shone. She believed a portion of his words. But soon, the truth spoke for itself. A immortal zombie shouted. "Quickly look, the freezing rain has weakened. Many desolate beast snow monsters are disintegrating on their own." The immortals were overjoyed. Their gaze towards Fang Yuan changed a lot. They had only taken Tai Bai Yun Sheng's words with a grain of salt, but after seeing and sensing it for themselves, the immortals' attitudes changed drastically. Maybe this Xing Xiangzi can really unravel the battlefield killer move? Earlier, Bo Dan could do nothing, but once he came, he destroyed 2 goo and reduced the power of the battlefield killer move by half. It seems that his wisdom path attainment is much higher than Bo Dan. I have to admit, this Northern Plains barbarian has quite the skill. Everyone's hearts became filled with hope. Bo Dan smiled on his face, but he was feeling very dark and gloomy inside. The better Fang Yuan performed, the more it pointed out his inability. Bo Dan was very discontent. He used his wisdom path techniques and observed the battlefield. Once he observed it, his heart shook. He felt endless joy. It turned out that after Fang Yuan destroyed 2 mortal goo, and after such a long time, With Bo Dan's skill, he could find 2 flaws as well that he deduced in secret. This was his intelligence. He did not want to do anything until he had concrete results. He was biding his time for a counterattack. Fang Yuan retracted his gaze that was observing Bo Dan. He looked at the battlefield killer move again. After destroying that mortal goo, it was as if a veil was lifted. 6 to 7 flaws were exposed in the freezing rain frozen earth battlefield killer move. But Fang Yuan was not happy at all. He felt very gloomy. The price of obtaining these 6 to 7 flaws was simply too high. For the time being, Shark Demon and the others were still kept in the dark, but when the next wave of attack comes, they would feel the pain. Fang Yuan continued to deduce. He had used over 10,000 star thoughts already. The offense of the battlefield became weaker. Shark Demon and the others let out a breath of turbid air. The pressure of defending was very great. Now that they were almost through with the 4th wave of attacks, they felt much less pressure, but they did not relax their alertness. Fang Yuan had good progress, but he did not act. He did not even use his probing methods from earlier. He sat in the air as he closed his eyes, showing others the impression that he was deducing with all his effort that in fact, he was thinking. This battlefield killer move is used to defend the blessed land. There are benefits and demerits. The biggest drawback is that the battlefield killer move forms a temporary world. It is a pseudo-blessed land. In here, all mortal goo and mortal killer moves can be used. They are not restricted like in a blessed land. But in total, the benefits outweigh the demerits. These battlefield killer moves can slow down the speed of invaders. Up until now, Shark Demon and the others still have yet to even see Yu blessed land's true appearance. Even if they could use mortal killer moves, the invading goo immortals still have to expend a lot of immortal essence. Because once this battlefield killer move is activated, its power forces the goo immortals to defend themselves, or advance and attack using immortal methods. If I can obtain some battlefield killer moves in Yu blessed land, and use my own blessed land's Dao marks to set up layers and layers of battlefield killer moves, that would be most favorable. When I relocate star form blessed land, I can use this method to form layers of defense. Who immortal blessed land can also make use of this, in case one day, who immortal blessed land gets attacked. These defensive battlefield killer moves can help me stall for time as I relocate the resources within. Because they were afraid of interrupting Fang Yuan's deductions, Shark Demon and the others remained silent. Because of Fang Yuan's earlier performance, they gained some patience now. What they did not know was, Fang Yuan was actually thinking about other things instead of deducing in this place. The most anxious person was not Fang Yuan, Tai Bai Yun Sheng, who was worried about Fang Yuan, or even Shark Demon. It was Bo Dan was anxious. He was not resigned to being suppressed by Xingxiang Z. Earlier, because there were no flaws, so be it. He was helpless. Now that he found some flaws, there was hope. He tried his best to undergo deductions. Time continued to pass, but Fang Yuan did not do anything. Bo Dan instead found an area with hidden mortal goo. If he got rid of this mortal goo, there would be little harm, and there would be progress in breaking the battlefield killer move that Bo Dan had some ability after all. If not for that, Shark Demon would not have brought him to attack Yu blessed land. Having this discovery, Bo Dan was overjoyed. He thought to himself, Bo Dan, you are really amazing. He was quite steady. He did not strike yet. Instead, he was observing Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan was still shutting his eyes. He did not make a move. Bo Dan waited as he lost his patience. His eyes were darting around. He had wanted to wait for Fang Yuan to be helpless before he struck, giving a hard slap to Fang Yuan's face. But soon, he thought, what if Xingxiang Z also finds this flaw? What would I do? Thus, he decided to act. Lord Shark Demon, I have made progress. Look, Bo Dan suddenly spoke. He said this as he moved his hands, destroying the mortal goo that was hidden. Shark Demon nodded at him. Bo Dan was a member of Zombie Alliance after all. Compared to an outsider like Xingxiang Z, Shark Demon was more willing to see Bo Dan's improvement. Su by Man smiled lightly. With both of their help, it won't be long before we break the battlefield killer move. But at this time, Fang Yuan opened his eyes. His expression turned very ugly. Oh no. What is it? Tai Bai Yun Sheng asked cooperatively. Fang Yuan said, This mortal goo cannot be destroyed. It is like a trap. After destroying it, the battlefield's offensive power will rise. Fang Yuan thumped his chest and stomped his feet. He showed a look of anger and regret, as if he was very upset at the moment.